This is Kal Kat's The Kal Kat's turn. This is a quick review of What If Episode 6. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? This is the one that they showed for the previews of it. Apparently it's the 6th episode. I'm not sure it's a finale or not. Kind of seems like it. In this version of it, the Killmonger, the villain from Black Panther, essentially rescues Tony instead of making him Iron Man. And he gets under Tony's graces and wants to build like drone robots that look like Gundams. It's even referenced in the story. So it looks a little bit more like a transformer than a Gundam, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, a gun head maybe, not a gun. Well, the head looks a little bit like one, but and then a series of events happen, whereas Killmonger leads T'Challa to be killed, and then goes to Wakanda with the robot drones that kill Stark. I think robot drones, and yeah, spoilers. Later on to frame him, then the drones go to Wakanda, and then there's a fight with the drones in Wakanda because he tricked them and got them through the shield and all that. Except for the sister who he didn't trick, who at the end, cliffhanger, makes a deal with the Pepper at the end. Spoilers. But yeah, summarize the story, kind of, yeah. Well, the action was a little better in this one. The characters look weird rotoscoped all the way through. It's cool that they got some of the same voice actors, but yeah, that doesn't translate as well to that form. Also, the bad guy's the bad guy from the beginning because of the other movie. It's like doing Star Wars prequels and saying, Palpatine is going to rise to become Palpatine. It's like, we know that. So there's no suspense. We know Vader becomes Vader. There's no suspense. And having the curveball of the new Star Wars throwing in Palpatine at the end is just nonsense because there's no way. How would that have happened? The only way that worked is if some other power was part of that universe and was manipulating Palpatine's puppet. And it should have been Jar Jar Binks. Nonetheless, J.J. Abrams, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do Jar Jar Binks. So they changed it. Anyway, but yeah, so in this version we have a bad guy that's clearly the bad guy and doing bad guy things, and manipulating everything to the point that he almost becomes like a presidential candidate in that universe. This is sort of a mirror universe thing going on, basically. It's a little bit, very much a mirror universe. Even has a goatee. It's from Oakland, though. That's near here. In the story. Also, the Bay Area was where the Black Panthers started, I believe. That's where the actual organization started. So the comic book references the organization. But Wakanda's a made-up country. Wakanda forever, made-up country. But the Black Panther was one of the coolest movies. The Marvel movie of all, pretty much. Yeah, it's right up there. We had Black Widow and Shang-Chi since then, and Black Widow was okay. There were some scenes that worked. The third act was a little bit too frantic, and weird. First act and second act seemed to be a different movie. They're getting to go on the journey to end up where they are. Shang-Chi was better paced. Again, it had a not-so ending than the third act, where, it was fine, but the villain in that one was better than the one in Marvel's, the other one, Black Widow. So in this one, the villain's obvious from the get-go. So that's part of the problem. So everybody who guessed how this episode was going to go, you guessed it. You're right on point. Yeah. So in the end, we have. It it was fine, I guess. The What If series has been rather underwhelming, I think. Partly because they have these setups for these other universes that aren't as compelling as the universe they already told. And some of them are just for fun, like the zombie one, or the other one, the Doctor Strange one. So yeah, it's not. It's all right. I'm sure there are people who will complain about the two ladies teaming up at the end, but I don't care. Either way. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. I'm not going to ramble on about how it's remotely similar to anything because it really isn't having to do with. They did get a little bit of the guy that died, his voice in it at the end. It's a little bit weird that he dies in the story. Um, but yeah, but yeah, but you expected it because he wanted to become the Panther or whatever. The other plane, he's gonna face him in the other plane. I'm not sure what that elixir is supposed to be. That makes them see the Panther universe, or yeah. Anyway, so yeah, nobody needs to explain in the comments. They don't need to. Anyway, so yeah, that's it so far.